Hey guys, it's Tizzy time, and today I have a very special guest. Funny enough, me and this guest met on my other platform, Tizzy Talks, and I was really interested with his mission, his brand, and it was, time to clap because another Black entrepreneur. I mean, come on. So I'll let my guests go forward, aka my co host for today, go forward and introduce themselves about what they have going on, their business, their brand. And, I could keep talking, but I'm going to let my guest for today introduce themselves. So please do the honors.
All right, y'all. Nice to meet everybody. I guess I've never really been on a podcast before, so I don't know how this works.
Ooh, this is fun. Your first podcast, and it's me. I'm honored. I'm honored.
You popped
So
my
of course you
podcast.
just yeah, your podcast. It's true. But basically you just introduce yourself. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of that. So who knows? You might be talking to Beyonce. I don't know if Beyonce listens to my
Hey,
podcast, and
we
I'm
gotta
a
manifest that
speak
though.
it
You
up.
feel me? We gotta manifest that.
I'm
Nah,
telling
but
you.
my name is Christian. I'm the founder of DeuxRos, which is a golf lifestyle brand. Used to be KL Mulligan's, and I just recently rebranded. And now we're DeuxRos, just trying to, do the same shit everybody else is doing. Just get out here, try to make a difference, be something different, and see where that takes us. For real, to be honest.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And not to just jump into questions, but I have to ask what made you, jump into like the golfing industry? Because, we have a stigma with Black people, of course, like our only person in the golf game is Tiger Woods, and, he don't really claim us. But
That's right.
what made you jump into the golf industry? I'm just interested.
To be honest, like it was just something I could do. Like to me, golf is just one of those things where you don't really need somebody else to do it. Like you can go to the range, you can go play by yourself. But and to be even more honest, there was not a lot of black people. Like when I told people I was golfing, they was just like, "What you doing? What like what?" You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Damn, what can I do to kind of change that stigma?" You know what I mean? And it was just like, well, I feel like I'm a person of influence. Like so, if I can do it, somebody else could do it. And then plus, I'm like, well, why are so many white people out there golfing? Like, what do they know that I don't know? You know what I mean? And I hate to be the type of person where it's like, hold on, like what y'all got going on over there? So I just started doing that, and then it turned out to be a beautiful game. Like I love the game. You just meet people, just the connections you can make. You're outside in nature. Like it's a whole bunch of just positives to the game, and I'm glad that I'm here. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. And I see you have some of the merchandise on. It looks great. I
Yes,
love, yeah. You
little
guys
sneak.
see that? Like you guys see that, like they can see, but of course I have a visual aid too that I will post alongside. So I think that's great. It looks amazing. What really caught my eye, funny enough, guys, is that I met Christian on Threads. It's so funny how people connect with Threads. You're like my third guest that I connected through Threads, excuse me. And when I first saw your brand, I was just like enamored. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like the visuals alongside of it, I was like, this is great. Like, definitely gave super high fashion. I'm like, oh my goodness, like this person is connecting with me on Threads. I mean, like I might be talking to the next Balenciaga. I'm like, okay.
Hey, you
And
feel me?
then, yeah, exactly. And then just going forward and seeing you do a rebrand. And can I just applaud you for that? It was so smooth. The
Thank you.
transition was everything. I mean, like, I own a few brands myself, and I'm just like, I know my rebrand would not be as neat. It would be super sloppy. But like your transition from KO Mulligans to Duro is just like amazing. And I love it. And I have to ask, is Duro like a double entendre, or is it something that you came up with yourself?
So I kind of came up with it, but to me, it's like as I'm like along the journey, I'm just like, oh, whoa, dang, this makes sense, right? So like the row is two, so my last name is French, right? And
Ah, we love it. My name is
right?
French too, Chantel. We stand.
Yeah, so means two in French.
Right.
And then like when I was born, I was 2 pounds 2 ounces, right? I have two daughters. You know what I mean? I was born on March 12th, so two was kind of like always just been around. And then Cairo, the other part of the row, it means Cairo is coming from the Greek word which means the right moment. And like, okay, my name begins with a K, Christian. I feel like so many things happen at the right moment in my life where it could have went right or left, and it's like, oh dang, so I just put those two together and it made sense. But it's funny, like as I keep like doing stuff or just like even having conversations like this, it's like, oh wow, like I know that this was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? So everything just kind of like come full circle.
That's amazing. And I love how you explained it. Like, it sounds like you have like a real connection with your brand, which is seldom with a lot of people. I mean, like, we're in a community, I mean, we're in a generation now where it's like, all right, is this going to make me money? Let me slap a name together. Let me put a logo on it. And we're going to, hopefully, we do 12,000 units in a week, just
No,
off the benefit of like, being kind of like for lack of a better term entrepreneurs in this season, but to see you have like a background and express what it is. I mean, we're cheering you on, brother, but I love to hear that there's so much behind your company, just like your French roots, your children. Like, that's amazing, that's amazing, that's
thank
amazing.
you, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like
that's
that was one of the reasons why I even wanted to start the brand to begin with. Like it was just like, yeah, I like golf. I do love golf, but also like just a fashion side. It's just like, why am I wearing these brands where I don't know? I don't know what the hell Balenciaga is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, that's just being honest. Like, I don't know what these brands are standing for. I don't know. I really don't resonate with them. Most of the time, I'm just buying stuff that look cool. So it's just like, how can I change that? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I don't want to be too like, here's my whole life story. Y'all can buy my stuff. Like, no, I'm obviously keep some things private, but for the most part, I want people to be wearing things that they could resonate with. It's like, dang, like this is dope. It means something. I could tell that there's thought behind this, there's intentionality behind it, the pieces that we're doing, all that kind of stuff like that. So just really just trying to take a step back and just not feed people with just like bullshit, more or less.
That's amazing. And to like kind of segue into my next question, if you had three words to describe your brand, what would the three words be? Because you said you don't just want to sit there and be like, here's my life story, but my brand. So if you could have three words or any like three phrases, anything you want, three things to describe your company, what would it be?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a really great
Thank you.
question.
I try to stump you guys sometimes.
Yeah. Nah, I would say purposeful. Like our slogan or the brand's mantra is kind of like live with purpose, not permission. So and it kind of just goes back to intentionality. Like we're doing things here. At least I'm trying to set forth that culture and just stuff. Like we're doing everything has a purpose, right? Why we're doing this? I think even us me on me on this podcast, it serves a purpose. You know what I mean? So just kind of
Absolutely.
something like that. So that would be one, definitely purposeful. I would say functional. I'm the way that my mind works, I try to make everything around me as easy as possible, as seamless as possible, and I'm trying to do that with fashion. So like a jacket, yeah, it's certain things and certain designs or certain functions of the jacket that I wanted to like. Dang, I wish I would have had that. You know what I mean? Or I wish
Definitely.
this had a pocket right here so I could put
Right.
this in.
The
It's like,
functionality.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Things like
Definitely.
that. Stuff like that matters. And then I think the last one would just be details. Like I'm so every detail matters. Like, and I don't think people understand like when you dealing with brands or just merchandise and all that kind of stuff. Like every little thing matters, and it's like if the people knew how much I pay attention to these details, then like I want you to kind of like, oh wow, this stuff is dope. Just because nobody else would notice this. Like, why is this stitch look like this? You know what I
Right.
mean? Why is the logo not centered in the back? You know what I mean? Like when we come to the website, it has to be this way. Like it's just things. So I would just definitely say those three is just purposeful, intentionality, and detail for sure.
That's amazing. And I see like on your collar you have like some wording. Me personally, I've never seen anything like that. So I think that's something totally unique. So I
Thank
love how you like kind of describe like I want to be totally different. I want to shift from the norm. I want to be in a place where, you see DeuxRos and you're like, okay, I only
you.
know one brand that has that, that type
Yeah.
of uniqueness to it, excuse me. So I love that you explained it in a way of like, hey, I want to be functional, but I also want to be known to be paying attention to detail. Because like sometimes we see things that are functional and we're like, oh my gosh, it's functional, but that's sloppy as hell. Like the prototype is just not. I mean, we're on TikTok. We see all these other brands that are rushing to put things out, and we're just like, oh my god, it works great. The functionality is amazing, but what the hell? Like so. I love that you included like my brand has to be detailed, has to be paid attention to detail, but also functionable. And I think that's something that will definitely set your brand apart from others. So that's an amazing thing.
And then plus, I think
Okay,
like most brands are like they go one way or the other, right? Like if we're
true.
functional, it's whack. It's no
Yeah,
style. There's no
it's
like, you know
true.
what I mean? Like it's just no disrespect to nobody else. Like get your money how you
It's
get it.
true though. No, it's
Like
true.
why keep converting? You know what I mean? Like why can I have a dope jacket that has the pocket in the right place? Why can I have, a shirt that feels good and I can still wear it all day and it still feels
Right.
premium? Like, why does it have to be a trade off? And it's like,
Exactly. Why does it have to be a or versus an
yeah,
and? Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
It's like
Hmm.
that's one thing I definitely want to just kind of like I can kind of set the standard here for how I'm doing this, basically.
That's amazing. So I hope I don't bother you with these questions, but
No,
I
you
have to
good,
ask,
you
like the humble beginnings of golf. Like I need to hear about that because full transparency, Christian, I played golf for a little bit, like
good.
maybe
Okay.
like 30 minutes. No, I'm just joking. But maybe like maybe like between the ages of like 7 and 8, we had like a program in my community where we learned tennis, golf. Golf was something that I loved it, but it's just something I could just not pick up. I don't know what it is. Mini golf though, watch
Yeah.
out, watch out.
Yeah.
Top golf, watch out. But
Yeah.
if we're
Yeah.
doing 18 holes, I got news for you. I'm just there for the cute outfits and the golf court and the drinks. But
I
yeah, I don't know. So I need
got
to know.
like I don't know, like to me, I think I have such an analytical brain. Like the craziest thing is like I need to figure out why I can't hit this ball, right? Like what is it about this little ball that's not moving? There's no, it's not going 90 miles an hour. You know what I
Me.
mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's sitting right there. Like why can I hit it and why can it go where I need to go? So like that aspect to me always just drew me to the game because it's just like, dang, like, and you grow up, you see Tiger Woods and all these other golfers, and you're just like, well, how can he do that? And then what's so different about him than me? You
Literally.
know what I mean? Like,
Literally, yes.
so there's that. And then there's the other thing is like, you don't got to be the fastest person. You don't got to be the strongest person. You don't have to be. I tell you, I play golf with 80-year-old dudes and they're a lot better than me. I hit the
Wow.
ball farther, but they hit it where they need to hit it. You know what I mean? They could putt
Right.
better.
They
It's
get
just
the hole
really,
in ones. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
it's just really the great equalizer. Like women, I play golf with some women and they hit it
Blow
farther
you
than
out
me.
the water. Yeah.
Man,
Oh
it's
man.
just like you got to the cart like, damn, like yo, I gotta
I
go
don't
get
know about this next hole.
put your head down, like yo, y'all want some drinks or something? You know what I mean? So it's just
Gotta
kind of
throw them
like,
off.
yeah, but it's just it's really a beautiful game, and it to me it just also mirrors life. Like you could hit the best shot and it could bounce off a tree or do something crazy, right? And it's just like, well, that's life. Like you can do everything you need to do and something happens. How do you bounce back? How do you adapt? You still got to go forward and hit the next shot. You can't be worrying about like, damn, I just messed up and I hit this ball in the water. Like you still got to play. You got another hole. You got another shot to make. So it's kind of like that. The similarity between golf and life. It's just like, dang.
I
Or the
love how
great
you
thing
use
about
that
it too.
too. That's an amazing analogy. Like how
Yeah,
you related golf to life. I'm like, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. But
yeah,
golf is one of those games. I blame Tom and Jerry though why I'm not like good at golf because I expect it to go like that, but it never does. So I love how you said like, sometimes you may miss your hole in one, or you may sink a hole in one, or you may go back to the cart and be like, ah man, I should have did less. I guess
yeah,
strokes. You call it
exactly.
strokes in golf, right?
Yeah, strokes.
Okay, let's look. I know a little something, but
Yeah,
less strokes, and just thinking about your next step. And I love how you related that to life, and I can tell that's also what kind of pushed you into the clothing within the golfing industry. Because I did ask you that in the beginning, so I
yeah,
love how everything relates back, or it's like basically full circle. Like
for real.
golf is life, and life is golf. I think that's amazing.
Definitely. Yeah, and it's even like you could do it. You say you do everything right, and then something happens. You got to deal with that adversity. You can do everything wrong in golf. You could top it 4 or 5 times, and then you next thing you know, it hits a tree and it bounces in the hole. So to me, it's like, dang, there's just the parallels where it's like, all right,
Mhm.
like you just got to learn how to keep moving forward. You know what I mean? And I think that's just definitely a lesson that golf itself has taught me personally.
So now I have to ask you because you
Mhm.
said life and golf and lessons. So I have to ask you if you had any piece of advice to give someone, right? Whether
Mhm.
it be in the golfing industry, whether starting your own business, because we're going to jump into that too. But if you had any advice to give anyone within your industry or within what it is you do, what piece of advice would you give someone who may want to start, who has already started, but is
Yeah.
confused on how life goes, or they want to quit ultimately?
To be honest, and I think I learned this a long, long time ago. You gotta identify what you're good at and what you're not good at. And if you're not good at something, just get people around you that are good at it. Life is so simple. I think people generally want to help other people, but a lot of people don't know how to. And I tell this story all the time. Like when I started this, I don't take good pictures, right? I don't think I'm
Me
photogenic
either.
or anything like that.
Me
I don't know
either.
how to
I
work
felt
the
that.
camera, you know what I mean? Like none of this stuff. And it was like, hey, I asked hey, I need a videographer. The next day I had a videographer. You know what I mean? Hey, I need a designer. The next day I had a designer. And so it's like once you put that energy out there and just ask for stuff, people naturally want to help you, right? You just got to be in the space to receive it. So I think my advice would definitely just be just whatever you're trying to do it. If you want to go be a underwater basket weaver, go do it. Like somebody somewhere know how to do it. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
But you just gotta identify that like I'm not good at basket weaving, but there has this I didn't think this up. Somebody else did. So there's the resource. So that would be it for sure.
I love that. That was amazing advice. And I love how you were like, listen, if you want to go out and be an underwater basket weaver,
Hey,
like, I love that though. But you're
somebody gotta
totally
do it.
right. I'm telling you, somebody,
It ain't
listen,
gonna be
you
me, but somebody gotta do it.
listen, if somebody in the next 5 years come out with underwater basket weaving, you better
I'm
get your coin,
lit.
Kristjan.
Hey, I'm lit. I'm lit. Hey.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm gonna come collect the coin too, but I just might because I heard the idea. But I was
Exactly.
just that's amazing
Exactly.
though. I feel like that's something that one is sound advice for sure, but two, very excuse me, very well rounded advice because it's like whatever you do in life, there's always going to be somebody to sit there and be like, you can't, or that's not possible. Or, I mean, look at entrepreneurship. 50 years ago, do you think people were sitting around like, oh, I could work for myself?
Hey,
I don't have to, I don't have to go and clock in for a 9 to 5. No. So, I mean, I love that you said like anything is possible if you, and then also manifesting, just saying going forward, like, I need somebody in marketing or I need somebody to model. And, just really putting that out there into the universe or praying for it and just being able to get that. That's honestly great advice, sound advice. I mean, you guys be knocking me out the water. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stump them with this question. I know they don't have the best advice because we're still learning, right? But you guys come in like y'all are industry, I mean,
nah,
leaders in the field for like 40 years. I'm like,
hey,
I'm talking
not yet, right?
to soon though, right?
No, for sure. But it's
Yeah,
just, and you also got to realize like everybody's on their own journey too. You know what I mean? Like you on your own
definitely.
journey with this podcast. If you ask me to run a podcast, I would know what the first thing to do. But hey, you
Journey
help
indeed,
me out.
Christian.
You know
Journey
what I'm saying?
indeed.
Like you just have to understand that like some
Mhm.
people may be further along, or some people may be starting out, but somebody had to go through here. Like you know what I mean? Like somebody
Right.
had to have. I couldn't have stumbled on this problem by myself. Like somebody had to have deal with this. So it's just kind of like, all right. At least once I adopted that mindset, it's just like cool. Like you know.
I think that's great. And the mindset, please put some of that over here. Like, give me some because, man, it's so funny. Even like talking about like a podcast. I love how you're like, it even took you, however long it took you to get to this space. And it's like, it's so funny because before reaching out to you guys and on threads or even jumping on threads and meeting so many amazing individuals like yourself, I'm just like, yeah, this podcast, I'm wrapping it up. I started it in college. I'm like, I started in college to kind of like low key be messy. And then I'm like, oh, well, I could actually really like, put something in to this podcast. And then like I was really feeling like defeated around like 2023. I'm like, I haven't done a podcast in years. It's not
Right.
really something I really want to do. I'm more more involved in Tizzy Talks. And then just one day I'm like, let me start manifesting guests. Let me
Yeah.
start, putting it in the air. And that's exactly what happened. So I love that you use that element. Like you never know where you're going. Just don't quit. So it's just like that's
You
amazing advice.
it's so crazy. Like you really don't know like who needs an opportunity or who's been waiting on an opportunity. Like I'll tell you, like I just had a photo shoot, right? Like and it's crazy and people this might sound so crazy to say, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. But like as a brand owner, like I don't think I'm that creative, right? Like I'm creative to a certain
Silent
extent.
repost.
You know,
Love
like I'm
that.
creative to a certain extent, but I need people around me to kind of help me like put the pieces together. So speaking of threads, I was hey the rebrand. You know, I got some products. I got to shoot the photo shoot. I'm like I'm not trying to do the same thing, so let me do something different.
Right.
I had all the threads like I'm looking for a stylist. Like I need one. Like right. The next I think it was like 3 a.m. She hit me back. Her name is Joy, and she's gonna kill me for saying her name, but her name is Joy.
No, we gotta plug Joy too. If you need a stylist, Joy
Oh,
is
for sure.
styling.
She is the truth. She is the truth. And so she hit me back. She was like, "Hey, like, wow, y'all be down to do it?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of like inviting somebody else into my bubble. Like, I don't know.
And that's that too. Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
was
I
like,
know. Mhm.
and I was like, man, you know what? Fuck it. Like, so we exchanged information. I think we met up like the next day. We probably talked for like 3 hours at a Starbucks, like 3 hours. Like,
Wow. I
and I
love
was gonna
that.
be in and out. Like, I was gonna fill her
We
out.
always
And I was gonna
why do
dip.
we always
I
have that plan as creatives like
had the
an
excuse.
hour, an
Like,
hour.
yeah, I had the excuse ready. I was about to be like, all right, bet. But nah,
Gotta
we talked
go.
3 4 hours. The next day, I was just like, dang, like you're hired. Like, before we
That's
even
all.
left, I was like, I hire you right now. Like, I love your energy. I love what you got going on. And then we just shot the photo shoot yesterday, and no complaints. Like that shit was
Congrats.
just crazy. Like it was so amazing. I'm just like, dang, like, and that was like a week and a half ago. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
And y'all
wow.
got to work. That's amazing. Like the results sound like they just
Oh
one,
my
two,
goodness.
three.
Hey,
I
one thing
love
about
that.
me, man, like if I know what I want to do, it's gonna get done.
Your
Like,
mind is set to it.
man, it's quick because I need
Can
to
I
figure
ask when's your birthday? Because
March 12th.
Marshall, you just said only 12 more days, not even 8 or 9. You would have been an Aries, but I'll let you rock as a Pisces. No shade.
Here
You
we
did
go.
say 312, but it's
No,
okay. It's okay.
yeah, but like me, and I gotta figure it out quick because I feel like my brain gets stuck. You know what I mean? Like I have to
Yes.
know what it's gonna be. So it's like, oh, I've started a brand. Immediately gotta have a T-shirt, or I gotta have this out. I gotta have a logo.
Oh, so we're the same.
Yeah, I gotta
Same.
like see it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll just be. It's
Let me
like,
go look up a domain. Yeah, I'm the same
yeah,
way.
like it's like a CD player just getting stuck if I don't figure it out. So
Right.
not funny.
I love that. And I think that's so true. And I love how you kind of like implied, like not even implied, but like spoke to what business owners go through. Like sometimes we're a little weary about jumping into business with other companies or other creatives. And then a lot of other times we're like, all right, like put everything on the board. We're up till 3 a.m. I need this information. So I think that's an amazing like segue too to start getting into where your humble beginnings were, what made you start Duro, and like ultimately what made you jump into entrepreneurship. Like,
That's a good question. Let's see. So it's
two for
about
two, everybody.
let's see. It's January 19th. I started the company March of last year. So I'm in the Navy, right? And I'm actually transitioning out. So
Wow.
uh,
Wait, hold on. Sorry. You said only 1 year you've been in business?
yeah.
You blowing us out the water. I'm not even going to tell how long I've been in business. I started this podcast 6 months ago. Everybody, not
Hey,
8 years ago.
hey,
Just saying.
man. Nah. So let's see. I'm transitioning out, and I'm really trying to like figure out. I've been in the Navy 13 years, right? And I'm like, well, what do I want to do next, right? I've been kind of tired of people telling me what I got to do, when I got to do it, how I got to do it, and it's just like, well, I'm finally in a position where I can dictate what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna live, what I'm gonna do. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, all right, well, what am I interested in? Fashion. Am I the most fashionable person? No, probably not. Once again, it's probably the worst thing as a brand owner to say. But hey, I like what I like. I like to be
I'm just saying, you look pretty well together to me. I mean, I mean, I know they can't see, but like, don't let him play you guys. He's dressed to a T, got the brand
uh,
on. He
yeah,
looks pretty fashionable to me.
yeah. Nah, but it was just like I needed to figure out what I wanted to do, and I was already golfing, so it was just like, dang, like how can I make this? And so my pops always tell me, man, like if you love what you do, you never work, right? So it's like I already
I
love
like
golf,
that.
so how can I figure out a way for this to make money, right? Then I look at the landscape. I'm like, dang, there's only probably maybe 2 or 3 just prominent black brands in the golf space that I know of. I'm
Wow.
not no disrespect to nobody else, but
No,
that's
you're the first. So I
what,
can say like for you to know three, I'm like, dang, I'm a little behind. But
right?
is Tiltis black owned?
Nah, they
Ti no. Okay, so then
not.
no one.
But I think East Side Golf is probably the biggest one that I know.
I'm going to look them up after we get off this
And
call
they
because
just
I
did a
didn't have no clue.
dope shit in the city. But so like they were like one of the inspirations, and it was like, dang, like they two brothers, you know what I'm saying? They out here golfing, and they made it seem look cool to me. So it's like, okay, well, if they're on the east side, I'm like, all right, I'm on the west coast, like that's an easy fill in the gap, you know what I mean? So it's
Hmm.
kind of like, all right, well, now I had like an idea, and then the name of the company was KL Mulligan, so it's like Kristjan Lacroix Mulligan, and Mulligan is a golf term for like
Right.
a second chance, right? So I felt like golf
Mhm.
provided me that. So I was like, dang, like
I
that's
love
cool.
that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was like, that's
Yeah, that was
cool. Like I can
dope. Yeah.
resonate with that. And then so yeah, that's how that started. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, and I threw a tournament, which was unheard of. Like that I started in March, I threw a tournament in September, and like people are like, what? Like what? You know what I mean? Like most people are trying
Icon.
to still get their brand off the ground, and here I am trying to throw a golf tournament. Like, bro, what is going on?
That's
Like,
amazing. No, but I love that. It's like because I feel like a lot of the times our entrepreneurs it's either we're out the gate with it, like we're running to the goal, or we're just sitting on our ass, like, all right, next year, next year will be the year, So I love that you were like 4 months in, 5 months in, like, all right, we got to plan our next step. We need to do this.
sure.
Yeah.
And it was just like, so that happened. I think I threw a tournament and a mixer in the same day. And I tell my team right now to this day, I will never do two events in one day ever again. Like, that was just so much stress. Like, it was just crazy, right? So I did that, and then after the tournament, I'm just like, man, I talked to a lot of people, and we have a lot of phone calls or just meet people, and I'm like, yo, I love your story, but the thing that they kept saying is, I don't golf. I'm like, dang, like,
We need to get in the
dang,
golf. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
everybody like what they like, so I'm like, well, how can I reach different people, right? Because yeah, the people are gonna resonate with the story 1000%. It's just human nature. I said, but now I need to do something so I can be in certain kind of different rooms or stuff like that. I just felt like it had a box or just a limit of where it was gonna be. So I was like, okay, I need something. It has to be one word because everything iconic is one word. You know what I mean? Apple, Nike, Samsung, like everything really more or less like has to be one word, but it still got to be dope. I said, it's
Right.
still kind of remain with golf. So then it came up with the road, and it's like, oh shit. Then I started seeing it. I could see it. Oh, I could see it on a billboard. Or I could see it on a store. Or I could see it in the magazine. Oh, dang. I can go collab with whoever now because the brand is open ended. You know what I mean? So it's just like, oh snap. So that's really kind of how everything came about. And I swear, ever since I started and I announced the rebrand, it's just so much things have been falling in my lap, like just different
That's
talks
amazing.
like just
Yeah.
I had a talk with a group the other day, and I was like, I'm like 99% sure we would not be having this conversation if I was still under KLM. And it was like, yeah, nah, we liked it, but it didn't really fit with us. But now, so I'm just like, huh. So it just kind of like one of those things where it just reaffirms you, like, yeah, I am on the right path.
That's literally, first of all, first and foremost, that's amazing. Congrats. Wishing you nothing but success,
Yeah.
literally. And I need to come buy some clothes. I'm not even go. I just want to go model on a golf course. I don't even
I
want to
got
play.
you.
But
Got you.
I totally understand that, especially with like the rebrand. Before I was Tizzy Talks, I was Tizzy TV or Chantizzy TV, something like that. And just the logo and everything, it was just like people were supportive, like very similar to you, like, oh, we love it. But it was more like we love it from a distance. It
Yeah,
wasn't like we would, buy, we would interact. It was more so like, face value. But
1000.
when I rebranded to Tizzy Talks, I mean, very similar to you, the opportunities were out the gate. So I totally understand that entirely. And I think that's when if that makes sense. Like when you know or when you feel a rebrand is supposed to come or you feel like more doors will be open, then you can go for it and do that. And I think that's amazing that you're like, first of all, you were able to do a formation of a company, three events, and a rebrand in a less than a year.
Yeah, it's
You want to
crazy.
work on my team too?
It's really crazy when I think about it. Like we just had, like I said, we just had a photo shoot. I just sat there at the photo shoot, just took it in for a minute. I was like, I really kind of did all this, like,
You did that, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it was just thing, and it's
Sometimes you
funny.
gotta,
Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes you got to talk this shit,
you have
just
to,
a little
yeah.
bit. But it's funny because like I think it was right after the tournament. I have two other people that were working with me, and I was just like, yo, I think I'm gonna rebrand. And they hated it. Like they hated the idea. Like, no, we just did all this. Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, but nah, we're gonna rebrand. And we went back and forth probably about like 2 weeks. And then I was like, yeah, well, at the end of the day, I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry.
My company.
It's like,
like,
like
like it or hate it,
yeah, like either you
yeah.
gonna get on the train or you gonna get left. Like I wish y'all the best, you know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
this just because and this is something I learned too, like you can't apologize. You can't be apologize for other people not being able to see your vision. Because at the end of the day, this is your
Very
shit.
true.
You know what I
Very
mean?
true.
So it's like
Very
I
true.
feel like I'm trying to make excuses, like, but they don't agree, or then it's just like, yeah, but they wouldn't be in the position they are to even have this conversation if I didn't start this, anyways. You know what
Right.
I mean? So it's like they weren't around trying to be like, oh, you should come up with a golf brand. Like nobody said that. So it's like, okay, well, now I got to do this. So it's just funny how as you go along the journey, you just like, dang, like some shit you just got to boss up and do. Like, fuck it.
It's I love that. Testament to time. Sometimes you really do have to boss up. And sometimes it's like you don't want to because it's like, but it's like, no, I have to. I need that respect. I need to garner that, that kind of like CEO boss mentality. So I definitely understand that. Also, sidebar, not really relevant to the conversation, but has anybody ever told you you look like Six Flag? His name is Black, but I call him Six Flag. The artist, Black, you never heard
Yeah.
of him?
No, I heard of them, but I usually
But
get
you've never heard of Ti?
that people you say I look like Ti, and I'm like, I never saw that.
No,
Then
Black
I
for sure.
then I got a couple Oscar Prouds, and I was like, damn, y'all
Is it the
disrespectful.
personality?
I'm like, y'all disrespectful. That's crazy. But
I
no,
mean, not Six Flag.
nah, I never got that.
I gotta stop calling that man Six Flag. It's Black,
Nah,
but
I call him Chris Black shit. Fuck it.
yeah, I call it Six Flag. You know what? I feel like it's
With
the,
the
the
six, why he did that? Come on.
he should have just been called Six Flag. I think it sounds good too. Six
Yeah,
Flag.
like why? Tell my name ain't that. Why would you spell it with a six? Come on, bro. What are you doing?
You know what it is though? I think it's the skin complexion, the personality, and the eye color. That's where
Really?
I get the Six Flag from. But now thinking about it, Black kind of does look different from you. But I could also see like Ti, maybe the smile.
Yeah. Oh,
But
damn.
Ti is super like light skinned though. I don't
Yeah.
think you're super light skinned.
Nah, nah.
But okay. So my next question, and it's more so towards like your humble beginnings, because you say you were in the Navy. So I think that's amazing. I'm not gonna unpack too much on that because I don't give America my free time. Totally joking. But has the Navy and also your upbringing of golf, did it push you into like kind of like an entrepreneurial mindset? Or was just your love of golf just what pivoted you into doing a clothing brand centric to the golf industry?
I gotta go with the Navy. Like,
Hmm.
just like, and I think I touched on it before. It's just always being told from the joint day you join. They basically tell you there's three things. They tell you what to do. They tell you when to do it, and they tell you how to do it. Right.
Mm,
And
not
as
a.
a person,
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it. That's not a ministry for me. I got to
right?
grow up a little bit though.
Nah, but it's just like as a person, it's like how long do I really want to be doing this, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And as I get older, it's just like my time is not my time. I need to kind of get my time back. Like I've spent time away from family. I spent a lot of time doing things that I have no belief in or I just don't even resonate with at all. And it's like, well, what am I really gaining out of this? And don't get me
Right.
wrong, like I did my time. I fully believe I wouldn't be where I am without the Navy. But it's just time for me to be like, all right, I got to get on and do something else. So I definitely think the Navy, just how it is, and we could do a whole nother podcast on all that shit. But
We definitely could. I love having people jump back up. So, yeah, we definitely can unpack into the Navy. I would love to talk about the military because
but I
I'm
think
just,
it's that like it's just I'm tired of being told what to do, when to do it. Like, and obviously you're gonna have to deal with that at any state of your life. But it's just like how I just want to dictate it and reclaim my time. You know what I mean? So that's that. I would say the
you
Navy.
better go ahead, Maxine Waters, reclaim your time. No, but
Oh,
seriously,
the infomercial.
you you better promote your senator. But no, I think that's amazing, and I love how you like kind of like first and foremost, you definitely have like a mentality of like in it to win it, but also like life, because like sometimes when you're in entrepreneurship, and I'm not sure if it deals with because I had a friend and it's so funny. I was talking to her today. She is in the Navy as well,
Yeah.
and she wants to start a nonprofit. And she just was like, "No, like Chantel, I've been 1 to 4, like the last 4 months, I've been." And I'm like, "Oh, that's why you weren't on social media, girl. I thought you
Yeah.
were pregnant again." Just
That,
totally
that, that
joking.
drop off. Somebody need to talk about that drop off though. We know.
Mm. We gotta unpack that in the military podcast too, because yeah, 6 months and then next thing you know, it's a baby.
Come
I'm so
on.
glad. But I'm listen. That's for y'all the parents. but
Nah,
but she was just like, I've been planning 5 months, 6 months on what this nonprofit is going to be like. Like, we jumped on the phone today and she was like, "Do you have to get off any moment?" I'm like, "Yes, I have a podcast today. We've been rescheduling and rescheduling. So please." But she was telling me basically in the emphasis of like, no, like just her being a mom, her being in the Navy too, and just her having like that mindset of like, no, I need to be strict. I need to formulate this before I even just jump in is very reminiscent to you. So it's
Yeah,
just like crazy, not crazy really, but just like contradictory about how when you have that background in the military and you have like that business acumen mindset as well, like I feel like y'all businesses just go so much further because like you know what you need, you know what I guess hard stops will be at your door should your business, go through trials and tribulations. So I think that's amazing.
no, for real. And like I said, like the military, like I wouldn't be here without it. It taught me a lot of life. I grew up, damn near spent my whole adult life in the military. So it's just like I learned so much. You meet so many people, just lessons, and just like I'm like, if I could do that, I can run a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like to me, obviously, there's different parallels, but like, there's a lot of shit I could say that a lot of people couldn't do, and I see a lot of businesses out here. So it's just like, all right, like, it
Yeah,
can't be.
I feel like a business acumen for you is so much easier than the Navy. I'll be watching y'all training videos. Absolutely not.
Solid.
Absolutely not. And me and water, one day we'll get there, but
Wow.
maybe I need to be CIA. I could do a little spying, maybe.
That's-
Just I feel I would do good. Give me some hair and makeup, little disguise. I'll eat the spy game up. But fighting for the
I gave up
military.
this crazy.
Yeah, I'll do a little spy gate. I know,
That's
send
funny.
me to China for a little bit. But no, like it's just, and I always give, hats off to people who are in the military, people who are in the army, the navy, special forces. I mean, like, man, real transparency. I don't know how you guys do it. I really could not from the sleeping alone, and I don't like to run, but I do not. If you wake me up at 5 a.m. to run, I
Thank
got
you.
news for you. Friendly fire for sure. But yeah, like I mean, just the discipline, and that's what a lot of people I know go to the military for discipline,
Yeah,
they are disciplined people, but want to maintain that discipline, and that's why I say hats off to you guys because that's an amazing thing. I bet God forbid the world end tomorrow, you'll be okay. You'll be
100%.
gone. You'll be
Uh,
swimming somewhere. Me
Thanks.
though, maybe I can use my
All right.
spy skills,
Yeah, nah,
early.
they need somebody to talk to, right? They be all right. You'll
Yeah,
be
they
good.
need a podcast. The zombies need a podcast.
Exactly.
No, and I'm not sitting around to talk.
Yeah,
But
nah,
you're
just keep it
absolutely right.
recorded.
Yeah, I'll just be in another room here. You guys all group
Yeah.
up here, the first zombie cast.
All right.
But yeah, do you have any upcoming launches? I know you said you had a photo shoot. Are there any things in the pipeline for 2025? Let's talk about it. This is the
There's
time
a
to
lot of things in the pipeline.
shamelessly plug. Okay, I
A
love
lot of
that.
pipeline. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about all of them, but
Okay. He's well. One thing about it, I always love to bring people back. So I don't know if you want to do your announcement
oh, for
pre-launch
sure.
or whatever, or after, because I'm patient. I'll wait, Christian.
Sure.
I'll wait.
Definitely, definitely be back. No, but I wouldn't say I have necessarily. I know what I want to do. I know when it's more likely gonna happen, but I'm probably gearing up to launch here in the next month or so. Um,
Ooh, that's
so probably
exciting.
around this time frame, maybe if things ever kind of go the way I think they're gonna go. I'll say around this time frame, you guys be on the lookout. Definitely
Okay,
for sure.
that's amazing. And I know you said you're local to California, right?
Yeah.
Not trying to tell your business or anything. I didn't say the city. I just said the state. So how are you guys doing out there with everything going on? I hope nobody was affected on your end,
Oh
because
no.
yeah, my aunt is in Santa Clarita, so I called her and
Yeah.
I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, she's
Nah.
in the
So
she,
I mean, I guess I could tell my business. I'm in San Diego, so we like 2 hours from LA. So a lot of that, but I got a lot of friends up there, a lot of just
sorry.
people I know, you know what I mean, and just kind of like, hey, prayers up for them. That's a tough time. Just honestly, I couldn't imagine, you know what I mean. You wake up or you whatever, and you got nothing, you know what I mean. So just prayers up for them, and just honestly, my hats off just to all the first responders and just people that are helping. I think we donated a lot of stuff just out there just to kind of help. I understand people ain't got clothes and food and stuff like that, so I kind of just did my part. So yeah, praise out to them for sure.
Yes, I think that's amazing. I'm yeah, prayers out to everybody who had to go forward and deal with that. I'm glad you're okay though. I know it was a lot going on within the city during that time. Like not only within LA, but like various other cities in Cali. And it's just like, oh man, and then here we are with a snowstorm, horrible,
Man,
8 inches right now that we're dealing with on the east side. So yeah, I get
shit,
that
the
time.
world is going crazy, man. Like what the heck?
Hmm.
Um,
I'm just about to move to the islands. I'll take the little hurricane once a year. I just
that's
can't with
it.
the cold. No, it's probably like 3 times a year. But like I'd rather a little water devastation than anything else. I mean, fire, snow. I'm not a big snow fan. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and it's just like,
Oh, really? That is.
yeah, I'm
I was
dead.
born in Brookdale,
Not dead ass. You was born where?
in Brookdale Hospital, right there.
Shut up. So you're a Brooklyn. Don't tell people that though,
No,
because you
right?
you've been in Cali longer. So it's like
Exactly.
how.
Exactly.
But
People be
that's
like,
dope
"Yo,
though.
you don't got no accent." I'm like, "I've been out here for
So
like
you
30,
so you really like Tupac for real?
something like that."
Tupac was born in New York too. Just
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. Yeah, I know Brooklyn. I was born in Maimonides, which is
Yeah,
Bensonhurst area.
yeah,
Yeah, but Brookdale, everybody. If you're from Brooklyn, you know where Brookdale
yeah,
at.
exactly. Yeah.
Worst hospital, but you know where it's at.
Fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. I'm
It
surprised
can't
I'm
be
here.
worse than Coney Island Hospital though.
Nah,
So, and I was
they in the
born and raised
trenches.
in Coney Island. So yeah, that hospital has never been good.
They
Man,
in the
I remember
trenches.
one time I broke my knee. They was like, "No, we're gonna just give you stitches." I'm like, "No, the bone is broke."
Nah, they the trenches over there. That shit crazy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But I love that. I didn't know we had New York roots. Okay.
Yeah,
Grr. Nah.
my people out there, my grandmother and stuff like that. I just talked to her earlier, especially when like the snowstorm and stuff like that.
Yes, the snow is the worst. I be thinking about my grandma too because the older people they're not coming outside anyway. But
Man,
when it's time to need like groceries and stuff, I be thinking about them having to trudge in that snow. It's
man.
just the worst. I don't even want to be out there. Like
That's what
it's
I'm
just
saying. Like, but it's funny because everybody was like, "Oh, like you about to get out the Navy, like you can come back to the East Coast." I was like, "Nah, y'all got it." Yeah,
literally. I have a friend. He was in the Navy too. Yes,
yeah.
he left in 2015 when he graduated, and he went to the Navy. I believe he just got out maybe like 2 3 years ago, and he's been in Virginia since. And we're like, when are you coming back? He's like, "Hey, you guys are 6 hours away. Stop
Exactly.
asking me questions. I'll visit, but I'm not moving back."
No, no, no. It's crazy. No, thank you. The city's going
Yeah.
crazy too. All kind of
No, it
traffic.
is too. Yeah, I've been trying to get to the West Coast for years, and it's like not even just because the weather, just because the aesthetic. Like you guys out there, you guys have the mindset of New Yorkers as far as like time. Like I haven't been to California where anybody's out past 2 a.m. and I love that 2 a.m. your time,
That's
which I
facts.
think is very responsible because it's
That's
like,
facts.
yeah, it's 5 a.m. Like let's go home. Like
That-
so, I like that you guys' mindset kind of align with New York ideals. Y'all are up at 7 a.m. our time. You know what I'm saying? Which is like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. your time, starting your work day, and it's just like I don't know. I don't know if New Yorkers would be able to do that.
No, I don't
Stay
think
up an
so.
extra 3 hours.
But I
Mm-mm.
do like that. Like everything, like the sports. Anytime you watch any kind of thing, it's on. It's mad early in the morning, and then like late at night. It's like I think our late games out here is like at 7. You know, y'all on
Yeah,
East
which pisses me off. I remember because I'm a Lakers fan, so I would be waiting up till 10:30 for the Lakers to come on. I'd be like,
7 o'clock.
ah.
We lit.
And you guys are just like, ooh, after work special.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say I love. But it's funny because I was stationed in Japan for 2 years,
Oh, that's
so
awesome. How was that? I want to go to Japan so bad.
Japan is like it's what New York should be. I tell people that all the time.
Okay. I like
So
that.
they they have every same aesthetic, right? But everything is clean. Everything out there makes sense. Like I just everything makes sense. You go in the corner store or they got it's like 7-Eleven, right? And like they have whole meals, but it's like actual food that you could eat, not like some bullshit you
Wow.
see at the gas
Not the
station.
little bullshit sandwiches
Yeah,
or the
no,
little
like
fruit bowls.
it's good, warm up and stuff for you. Like everything out there makes sense.
Oh
It's
my
I had a
gosh. I
great
want
time.
to go to Japan so bad, by the way. Like I've been very obsessed for a while now because their fashion, first and foremost. I love the way they dress. But then
No,
I'm also obsessed with sushi. So I'm like, ooh, too. I love a
Yeah,
good sushi roll.
nah,
So I just lucky you. Oh man,
it was
that's
crazy.
amazing.
And it was like you'll see like old ladies, old men, and they like Balenciaga down, Louis V down. I was like,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh my
got
god.
money, like what?
And then
Oh
they do their little and the way they be walking down the street, like
man,
everything is a fashion show. I'm
oh,
super jealous. And here we are in New York thinking we're the celebrities, and Japan is like in 2048. So it's
man,
just like,
I'm
what's the
telling you,
what's the reason?
everything makes sense out there. Like I when I'll tell you a little bit. So like
Mhm.
I'm in the Navy. I do logistics, right? So just get people
Oh,
places, things, right? So I used to work at a mail center, and we would go to the airport to pick up the mail that's coming in. Because basically, how it works is all the mail that's coming from the states, it has to go to Japan, and then we'll kind of like route it to wherever it goes, right? So we would pick up the mail, and then you go to the airport, and the trucks, like you see how we have 18 wheelers, and it's just they open at the back. You got to have like
hmm,
a pallet jack or a forklift in the truck, but they
right.
got trucks that like open up like Lamborghini doors on the side. I'm like,
Shut up.
it's like little things like that. I'm like, that makes the most sense. Like two people can unload. Nobody has to be in there fucking around with the dang pallet jack and hitting the. You know, like
Yes,
it's just like they have it's little things like they have seats in elevators, like little stools. I'm like, yo, they should have this shit in
that's
America.
amazing.
Like,
Damn, we really are so behind. America got the nerve. The nerve. I mean, military wise, I love us
nah,
for real because I feel like we got
yeah,
superheroes on the force or
we did.
something.
Nah,
But as far as like economy, structures, architecture, America, we're so behind. It's like,
it's
food
like
too.
I'm saying the food is fresh, like the fruits,
Hmm.
everything tastes so good. Like it's just like, oh my God.
I
Like
went to Dubai maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and I was shocked at the freshness of the food. I'm like, damn, they're really
nah,
poisoning us in America. Like,
for real.
no way the steak felt like the cow was cut this
No,
morning. The
no,
tomato feels like I feel
no.
like the tomato was tucked into bed every
You know what
night.
I'm
You know?
saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, and that's another thing too. Like, people, I tell people, y'all need to travel, man. Like, the world is so
Mhm.
much bigger than wherever you at. Like, you never
I
know.
agree with that.
Like, it's just experience it, and like, if you want to come back to New York or you want to like whatever, I don't care. But at the same time, at least you go and experience stuff. Like,
Right.
life is too short to just be in New York the whole time. No disrespect.
No, not taken. None at all. It's so funny you mentioned it. I had actually just moved back to New York from Georgia. I was in Atlanta,
Okay.
and I loved it.
Yeah.
Atlanta was great. It's just slow,
Yeah.
but great for the most part. My only qualm was like things close early, but
Yeah.
besides that, yeah, it's 6 o'clock. If you're not at the supermarket, you're out of luck.
Right.
8 o'clock, you
Uh,
hungry? You just getting off work? So sorry to you.
right.
You gotta wait till the morning. But it's just like so different, and like I just feel like California is one of those cities that are ever change. Well, states that are ever changing, and like
Yeah.
you guys are like in 2037. New York, we're there too, but it's just like with
That's
all that's going on from like crime to like legislation, we have a ways to go.
don't get it twisted. California got some wacko shit out here too. Like
Oh, I'm sure.
it's a lot of dumb. Like what we doing? Like it's a lot of dumb shit. But I mean, it is what it is.
I mean,
Anywhere
but you guys have sun.
that is fact. It's a lot better. You know, like
You
people.
look like you're in a nice windbreaker. I
Man,
wish I could. I wish I
man,
could. I go
it's
outside in a windbreaker, it's over for me.
it's out for you. Nah, it's
Yeah.
January
Mm.
19th, and I had on shorts earlier. You know what I mean? It's just like, I, you
Tony
know.
Yayo face, like I'm
It's one of those
jealous as
things, and
hell.
people like, "Oh, you should go move somewhere else." I'm like, "Yo, no, like it's 80
Mm-mm.
degrees damn near all year." You know what I mean? Like,
My
I pay a
aunt
little
be
bit more, I
killing
guess.
me. She'd be like, "It's cold today, Telly," and I'm like, "Why is it cold? How was the weather?" She's like, we had a 73 degree day," and I'm like, "Well, we had a 21 degree day, and that
Nah,
was the high."
no.
Like,
Yeah, I think it was like 40 something degrees the other day. I was like, "Oh, it's break."
that's what. Yes, not that it's brick. Ah.
I
So,
said it to
so,
years. It's
so it
break.
was brick. It wasn't. It wasn't. Oh nah, because
Nah,
oh nah, you can't
nah,
even go
serious. Oh
outside.
yeah, nah, serious. Nah, it was. I
Well,
was like,
that's California. Oh nah,
yeah,
45. When
for
you guys are
real.
used to 70, 80 all the time. Yeah, you guys
That
had
shit,
your first oh nah.
yeah, that was for real. It's like,
So
damn.
we are coming up on our last 15 minutes. So I do want to ask at this time if you have any more news, but also where people can find you, where people can shop, and anything else you want to leave on the readers' minds and ears.
Well, for
Also,
Instagram.
thank you for jumping on too.
Oh no,
I gotta think that too.
thank you for
Appreciate
having
you.
me. Actually,
No, thank you, and thank you for being so flexible.
oh come on, man,
Truthfully, me and Christian, we're supposed to meet since April 20,
for real.
2018.
Before COVID type shit. Nah, I'm lying.
No, imagine. Oh my gosh, yeah. COVID ended our whole interview. Thanks, COVID.
Nah, but nah, and like I thank you for having me on there too. Just like I see what you're doing. I'm a huge supporter. Like I watch a
Thank
lot of your
you.
stuff.
Likewise. I
Like just
appreciate that.
I appreciate just you're another person in the space trying to do what you do. And like I tell people all the time, like I know I probably don't, I don't really know you like that, but I'm proud of you and just for doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Likewise, King.
it's
Well,
too
we
many
we
people,
friends now. I mean, you're on the podcast. We're friends now, so.
but it's too many people out here doing like not doing what they want to do, and like I champion that. Like so, like I said, my hats off to you. I'm proud of you. I hope I
Thank
see
you.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have to vacation with the girlies. The
1,000%,
kids, we gotta be when I have
1,000%.
my kids, we gotta take the kids to San Tropez, in our yachts when the money comes in. Of
Oh,
course, that's
for
not the
sure.
last you'll see us.
But let me see. So you can find me on Instagram at DeuxRos, DEUXROS underscore. That's the only social media because TikTok got banned. So,
It's back now. Did you
oh,
see? Look, it's back
oh
now.
man, God
Thanks
damn.
to Trump's efforts. Shout outs
He the
Donald
one.
Trump.
He the one that was saying to the ban a long time ago. But let me
Clock
stop.
it. Clock
Let me,
it.
let me
I had to
stop.
pull up the executive order earlier just to make sure I wasn't gaslit. I'm like,
Like,
not the same.
like,
Okay.
all right, you a fucking goof. I ain't trying to,
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah. Listen. That's a whole nother conversation. We'll be on this podcast for another 2 hours.
Nah, for sure. But nah, like I said, I just really want to thank you for having the opportunity. This is my first podcast. It was dope. I was nervous as
We love
hell. You know what I'm
it.
saying? I was, dang,
I
what could I
told you shouldn't be nervous. You're good. You're in good hands.
Nah, definitely dope. And like I said, I just championed. I'm just so proud of you for doing this. This is amazing.
Thank you, Krishna. And likewise, we're super proud of you too. And not just me, we as the community, we love to see it, King, especially a young black man integrating into a industry that is seldomly, championed by black people. So I'm wishing you nothing but success. I'm praying that we see you at the Grand Masters. That's what it's called. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we see you at the Grand Masters. I hope we have a shirt collab at Happy Gilmore 3, because I know they just finished filming Happy Gilmore 2. But who knows? They could do some reshots and we throw you in there. But definitely wishing for your success. Can't wait to see the collection. I will be in my DeuxRos this summer on a golf course. Come see me.
Feel
So I'm excited.
No, definitely. I appreciate it. And then like I want to tell people like the brand is just
Mhm.
because you don't golf don't mean you can't wear the brand, right? We're literally gonna have something for everybody. Like
I mean, he
now,
has it on right now. He looks super fly. I mean, I don't feel like he's about to go jump on the course, but if he did, I mean,
still be
he's
fly.
swaggiest guy
Yeah,
there. Yeah, I'm telling you,
still be fly.
telling you.
For real. But yeah, like it's just like, and that was one thing I kind of like hated when people label it, right? Oh, it's a golf brand. Like, no, it's just a brand, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's just people wear brands all the time. Why should mine be in a box? I'll have a theory as to why I should, but you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like it's just a brand, just like any other brand. So,
You're
um,
absolutely right about that, though. Like, why should I be boxed in? Why should I be in one area? Why should I be,
come on,
yeah, for sure.
come
I
on.
love that. And I think that's important, especially going forward and being a young individual. Like, I hate to say it like this. I know we older. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm about to be 32.
Oh my gosh, y'all are eating me up. I swear. I don't know what they giving y'all in your 30s, but I need it. I'm only 28. Christian's eating me
Um,
up. I thought he was my age, but
hey,
listen, I'm telling
resonate with
you. Yeah. So I just feel like, being 35 and under right now, like we're eating the game up. I mean, we're nothing like our parents and our
you.
ancestors, which I love, but also in the same breath, we're putting things in order so our children, our grandchildren don't have to feel like you have to work a 9 to 5, or even if you do work a 9 to 5, you can't chase your dream. So I love that, you had that backstory within, you chasing your dream and starting your business. Like,
Exactly.
I didn't always want to be in the Navy.
Yeah.
I knew I wouldn't be here long. I knew I had roots to lay down after. So I think that's amazing.
Nah, for real. And it's just really, like you said, just paying it forward, man. Like, it's funny you say that because, like, right now, like my kids, they go to school and they have like these mental health days and all these days, and I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
mad. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, like who the hell gonna watch the kids? But I'm like, yo, they have these things because we fought for this when we was in school. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So it's
true.
like, I'm like, it's kind of dope to see it just come full circle. Like I'm mad as hell as a parent. Like the kids are getting out of man, they
But
offer
they need that. We didn't get that though, Christian. That's the thing. Like Mayor Bloomberg would have had us out here trekking in the snow to go to school tomorrow. I hope you know that. These
man,
kids nowadays, they get a little computer, sit at your desk and
no,
do your work. I wish.
no, for real. And that's why I was like, yo, it's kind of dope to just see like the I guess the fruit of our labor. You know what I'm saying? If we didn't complain about this and all this stuff, then
Right.
we wouldn't see nothing change. We would have been trekking. They would have been trekking to the school in the snow.
It's
Like
snow too, yeah. And I
I as a
love that
parent,
about us.
I would have been happy because you know what I'm saying.
I
I
know.
I'm not gonna hold you, but like I get it from like, all right, that's cool. Like I'm glad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I love that we as the adults now still can't believe we're the new grown-ups. But us as a it's crazy.
Let us do
I was literally 25 years ago in
that.
my mind. But I love that we're trying to shift the goalposts and move it to a marker where we understand and we don't want our children to grow up like us because a lot of us are like super anxious. Let's talk
Mhm.
about that. Super OCD. A lot of us have ADHD, and it's just like, trying to navigate life with these predecessors,
Yep.
that we don't want to place on our kids. So I think that very true. And you're doing amazing. And my
No,
my Chris Jenner voice, you're doing amazing. No pun intended.
not for real. It's just like we don't want like you said, we deal with a lot of stuff and a lot of things you never even knew you had. Like, oh, I didn't know that's what it was called, or I didn't know this. And it's just like, no, my daughter's coming to me. She's like, Dad, you hurt my feelings yesterday or something. I'm like, dang, like I'd have never been able to tell my dad that, but like
It's true.
dope to see it as like, okay, cool. Like, and of course you as a parent or whatever, you're like, hey man, what? You don't got no feelings, but you really do. They do. And it's just like kind of establishing that environment and, we'll see. Hopefully you gotta be the change you want to see in the world. I hope I'm doing
It's
that
very
in
true.
a lot of aspects, so we'll see.
That's amazing, and wishing you a bunch of success, not only through the business, but in parenthood too. Because I take my hats off to parents right now, man. Like I can't even imagine being a parent right now. I'd probably be losing my mind. Imagine a podcast and all you hear is like, "Mommy," like,
It's
oh man, I
it's
probably would implode. But I give I give credit to all the parents. Definitely want to be a parent one day, maybe if
correct.
life permits. If I want the career first.
Yeah, right.
I'm selfish as hell. But definitely want to be a parent one day. And like just seeing how many of you guys that are older than me, but also are dads and,
Yeah,
the shift. Like even hearing you have daughters, you sound like your daughters are everything to you. And I love that because, dads are everything. As much as people don't realize how dads are everything in their life, like I love my dad. He's
yeah.
annoying as hell sometimes, but I wouldn't trade him for the world. And I feel like a lot of the reason I am the woman I am today is because of my dad. So,
1,000%.
shout outs to the dads, man. Y'all do a lot for the girlies. As much as people don't think girls need
You
their
trying to
dads,
play first,
we
man.
need our dads. I'm
Yeah, they
telling
just
you.
trying to play dads, bro. But it's like
I
I
don't
even see
understand.
my daughter's basketball game today. Like we
Oh,
had
she play.
good.
What's her position? What does she play?
She just started, so she shooting guard. But
I was just about to say she a SG.
yeah, she shooting guard. But it's
That's
like
amazing.
I'm out there, I'm coaching the team and stuff like that. So it's like that people need that. Like people like to see
Yes,
that. You know what I
it's
mean? And
true.
she comes home, she's like, Dad, thank you for coaching me. And I'm like, yeah, it's nothing. Trying to talk,
Ah,
that's not like
that is such a dad thing. Dads be like, it's nothing, and then go home and be like,
whole
my
time,
little
man.
girl growing up.
Hey, nah, for real.
It's so true. My dad is like that. Like I see my dad sometimes. He'll be like, and then I'll go upstairs and he'll be like, he'll send me little messages on Instagram like, "I'm so
No, one
proud of
thousand.
you," and I'm like, "Stop acting tough, then.
Nah,
It's me." But
that is funny because yesterday, like at the photo shoot, I took my youngest. Like like my two kids, they're just opposites, right? And then
I
my
love that
youngest,
though. Can't have the same.
yeah,
Somebody got to keep you, little, you know.
she's like the fashionista, whatever. So she's like, can I go to your photo shoot? And I was like, at first I was like, nah, you can't go. I ain't trying to do it. But then we she went, and then she was in there. There's a couple of pictures she took, and I was just like in awe, like wow, like not only
Yeah,
do
little
I have like
model.
the
Yeah.
brand, you know what I mean? Like I have the brand going on, but I have my kid who's there, and then not only that, it's like she wants to spend time with me. You know what I'm saying? Doing this,
Yes.
provide the opportunity for her to do this. And it was just like the greatest thing. I was just like, at the end, I was like, oh, I'm so glad you came. And I was being all soft and stuff. She's like, Dad, like you knew I was going to come. I was just like, all right, bro.
That's so cute. And I think that's amazing too, because one day, if you want to pass the company on, or if when a company gets big, you put her
Exactly.
on as a, C-level executive. That's amazing. Keep it in the family. Aw, I love that. Stop. I said I wasn't crying today. I'm not, no emotions for the year, but that almost made me drop a tear. That's so sweet.
I had
I
to pay
love
you
that.
back
I
for the
love
good
that.
question, though. That's
Yeah,
I had to pay you back.
that's fair. That's fair. Touche. But Kristjan, thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate that. We will be having Kristjan back because we definitely want to do an update and see how the business is going. Any new releases, we would like to be the first to know. I'm not saying we need the exclusive, but
I got
you
you.
know,
I
at
got you.
least let me have my podcast cherry too. I want to have the exclusive cherry, like first to hear on the media. So
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is there anything else you want to say to the people before we sign off?
Hey man, y'all listen, like, subscribe. I don't know what the podcast word is. You know what I mean? Like, subscribe, follow, whatever you got to do.
Yes. And
Just
make
support.
sure you guys follow Kristjan as well. His Instagram, like he said, is DeuxRuo. I mean, sorry, ROS. My apologies. Again, that's DeuxROS, Duro. And you guys go check out his brand. I mean, like he said, it's not specifically for golf. He has golf beginnings, but of course, you can wear the brand anywhere. Go, take some photos, show us how you look in your Duro, show
Hey,
us how strut. And I definitely will be copping some up. I got a summer this year.
I'm gonna send you a gift
Trips,
though.
all of that. Please
I'm,
do. Oh my God, I would
I'm,
love that. But please also send me your site because I definitely want to share and promote as well. I have a few people in the fashion industry, some photographers as well, who I think it would be great to even like go forward
I
and do
need
some
all of
shoots.
that, all of
Of
those clothes.
course.
I
Whatever.
need,
I'm also going to write you separately because when you were talking about like marketing and all that, whatever you need, I got. Whatever
bro.
you need. Trust me. Trust,
Please
trust, trust. I know.
help me, please.
I got you. One of my friends actually does some content in California. Her name is Ty.
All right,
She's in Anaheim though, but she has just did a lot of campaigns with hair brands because she had natural hair literally down to her back. She just big chopped it, which I'm like,
okay.
Ty, but she big chops every 3 years. It's gonna grow back. It grows back in 2 minutes. But I would love for you guys to collaborate. I think it would be great. And she does sports too. She does track. So,
Oh shit, yeah.
mhm.
I definitely got you. Yes, write me afterwards, because
I got
it's
you. I got you. I
something
got you.
I'm doing that, like, especially to like, I guess I can say it, it's gonna be called the Rose Social Club. So it's just gonna be people that either inspire me, support me. I send them a little gift just to kind
I
of like,
love that. Like brand man, kind of like a brand ambassador.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. But it's like
And
they
if
don't
you
gotta do nothing. All you gotta do is
right.
get the gift, and it's just like, hey, it's my way of saying thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And I got a few influencers who want to. We
Well,
gotta talk, but
yeah,
yeah, we gotta talk. I got you, King. But thank you so much again, Kristjan. I appreciate it, and thank you for jumping on Tizzy Time. We will be back next week with a new special co-host talking about everything unfiltered and unedited. So we're super excited again, Kristjan. Thank you,
thank you,
and
thank
yeah,
you.
bye.
Talk to you soon.